From a captain scoring on himself in overtime to a #1 overall pick ending his career on a single empty net miss to a birthday own goal that killed an entire dynasty. These are NHL mistakes, but they get increasingly more embarrassing. And first, we gotta talk about the time Doug Gilmour's mistake almost made him blind.
But he sat down.
But Patrick Eaves never even got his shot off, because he skated in on his shootout attempt when this happened.
Moving in and stumbling and not getting the shot away.
Dude never even made it to the goalie. Martin Havlat had the unluckiest line change in NHL history, because when he tried to hop over the boards, his hamstring tore.
He gets his right leg caught, he's coming on the ice, and his left leg just takes the brunt and twists.
But Dominic Moore celebrated a little too early, because in Game 1 of the playoffs, he threw his arms up thinking Fleury gave up a goal, when really, the puck was sitting right there for him.
Dominic Moore, you can't get your hands up unless you know it's in the net. You could have had your stick on this rebound, except you're too busy celebrating.
But Steven Stamkos' penalty shot was cursed, because on a free chance to beat Marc-Andre Fleury, his own skates betrayed him.
See what he does this time against Marc-Andre Fleury. Steven Stamkos lost the puck and Fleury comes out the play.
In front of every Penguins fan, too. But Tyler Seguin had the easiest goal in hockey, because he skated in on a breakaway to a wide-open empty net.
Ruffled back door, and it's tapped wide by Seguin.
Missed opportunity here.
But the captain of the Leafs did something worse, because in the 4th round of a shootout, the puck left his stick and kept on going.
Chance to win the game. And he lost the puck. He gets it back, but that's it.
But Brad Marchand made Tavares look smooth, because in the 5th round of a shootout, he did this.
Marchand overskates the puck. He touched it, though, with his stick.
Barely. Oh, moves it. No goal, it's over. Marchand flops it.
That might be the worst shootout attempt ever. But Peter Mrazek let a goal in that might be worse, because Jacob Chekrin whipped on a one-timer, and the puck rolled like a beach ball toward the net.
It's issued, a pass in front, Chikrin scores!
You can see the stick of Mrazek tried to get it flattened down, but unable. He lost control of it.
But Shane O'Brien did something that shouldn't be possible, because on a delayed penalty with his own goalie pulled for an extra attacker, he somehow scored on his own empty net.
This delayed call, bouncing, pocket goes back towards the net! He scored!
Dude handed the other team a goal while they had an advantage. But Patrick Laine is one of the deadliest snipers in the league, and he used that talent to do this.
Letestu wide, steps into a shot, big rebound! Patrick Laine put it in his own net.
Top shelf on his own goal, but William Nylander showed off elite hand-eye coordination by batting a mid-air puck right past his own goalie and into the net.
Good cutoff on the near wing by Toropchenko. Center to Walker. Wall the save. And the Leafs put it into their own net. And trying to knock it out of the air, Toronto with an own goal.
But the captain of the Avalanche had no way out, because in overtime, with the scores tied 2-2, Gabriel Landeskog forgot what team he was on.
Tanev turns to the outside. Tanev fed one up. And punched in. A short-handed overtime game winner.
But Alex Nedeljkovic created a goal out of thin air. I mean, the puck was going wide, and he decided to make things extra spicy.
The thought was there anyway. The puck was going wide. Maybe just let that one go wide.
But Charlie Lindgren called this the worst mistake of his career, because in a tied game in the 3rd, he went behind his own net to clear it, but instead made the dumbest mistake possible.
Lindgren.
Oh, he put it in his own net!
A goalie scoring on himself in a tie game in the 3rd, that's crazy. But 2 Hall of Famers combined for the dumbest own goal ever. See, on a delayed penalty, Chris Letang dropped the puck to Evgeny Malkin when everything went wrong.
This is big for the Penguins. They're just trying to kill as much time off.
It went in! Oh my goodness!
Back pass. It goes off the blade and into the back of the net.
But Troy Stecher just got claimed off waivers by Toronto, and in one of his first games as a Leaf against his old team, he did this.
Stetcher tried to clear this one, and he buried it.
And just like that, the game is tied!
Dude still plays for Edmonton, apparently. But Jeremy Swayman took an Olympic-sized L, because Denmark's Nicholas Jensen launched one from just past the red line, and it found the top corner.
Score! From long range!
But Mark Bergevin is the only NHL player to ever do this, as he caught the puck in midair in his own zone. Instead of throwing it around the boards, he threw it past his own goalie and into the net.
Suter into the zone. Centering pass plugged out of midair by Bergevin. How long did he have that puck in his glove? Now the puck's in the net. But the question is, how did it get there? There's Bergevin. That's where I thought he had it. Oh, he did.
He did. He threw it right in his own goal.
Caught it and chucked it in. Nobody else in 100 years of hockey has done that. But Alex Ovechkin celebrated a little too early in a Game 7. Because 24 seconds into the third period of an elimination game, he scored what he thought was the tying goal.
For Washington, 25 saves.
But Dan Cloutier led in the worst goal of the playoffs, because when Nicholas Lidstrom took a harmless slap shot from center ice, nobody saw what was coming next.
Now Lidstrom from center ice. Baby! Oh, it skipped past Cloutier.
That goal flipped the series. Detroit won in 6. Cloutier's career never recovered. But Vesa Toskala led in a goal from 197 feet away. See, the Islanders weren't even shooting. They were dumping it out of their own zone while shorthanded, when Toskala thought he had the easiest save of his life.
And it's going to be rattled out and down the ice. This is bouncing into the net!
That's what he's remembered for. But Mike Smith did the same thing in the playoffs, because in the Battle of Alberta, Oilers up in the third, on a power play, Rasmus Andersson just chucked one at the net and scored the easiest goal of his life.
Oh, he scores from long range. And Calgary's tied it in the most unlikely fashion.
But Tommy Salo's mistake eliminated an entire country. See, at the 2002 Olympics, Sweden was stacked with NHL superstars. They were the heavy favorites to win gold when they drew Belarus in the quarterfinal. Now, Belarus had no business being in the same building as Sweden, but somehow this game was tied in the third. And when Vladimir Kopak ripped a slap shot from center ice, Salo did what nobody would ever expect.
And they'll change. Both teams change. Shot Salo. Slap shot outside the blue line.
Sweden was eliminated in the biggest upset in hockey history. Salo's career was never the same. He later went public with his battle with depression after that goal. But Nathan McKinnon's Olympic miss might be worse, because in the 2026 gold medal game, with the game tied 1-1 versus USA, the best player in the world got a wide open net and somehow botched it.
Bryni mukana hyökkäyksessä, siellä Bryni vielä hakee syöttöä, uusi paikka ja siinä McKinnon 1000 alapaikka, mutta
Canada lost the gold, and that's the image nobody will ever forget. The 2019 Lightning might be the most embarrassing team ever. See, they won the President's Trophy with 128 points, one of the greatest regular seasons in NHL history. And heading into the playoff series, they drew the 8th-seeded Columbus Blue Jackets, a team that had never won a playoff series. Tampa also beat them in all 3 regular season meetings with a 17-3 score combined. So when they took a 3-0 lead in Game 1, nobody saw what was about to happen, because Tampa would not win a single game the rest of the series, and Columbus closed it out 7-3 with 3 empty netters.
Anderson off the boards. Out to center. Anderson for the vacant net. Now Panarin can't get to him. What a job. Going down the gun and he scores. Texier gets to it. That's all. Boucher will bounce it in.
A 30-point gap at the regular season gone in 4 games. The 2023 Bruins found a way to be worse. See, they set the NHL record for wins in a season with 65 wins and 135 points, the greatest regular season team ever assembled. And they kept the streak going when they took a 3-1 lead on the Florida Panthers in round 1. Then everything changed. They somehow dropped 3 straight games, including a Game 7 at home where they blew a late third period lead.
Here's Verhaeghe shooting, he scores! Carter Verhaeghe, 8:35 into overtime.
But the 2011 Canucks did the same thing in the Stanley Cup Final. See, they took a 2-0 lead and a 3-2 lead on the Bruins. And with 1 win from the Cup, they lost Game 6 and Game 7 at home, where they were absolutely humiliated.
The city's mayor described the participants as hooligans. The reason for all of this chaos? A hockey game, lost by the hometown Canucks to the visiting Boston Bruins.
Safe to say their fans weren't happy, because They straight up flipped cars, set streets on fire, and made the news. But Patrick Roy is one of the greatest goalies to ever play, and he ended his career on the most embarrassing save attempt in NHL history, because in Game 6 of the 2002 Western Conference Finals, with his Avalanche facing elimination, Roy stopped a scoring chance, and to show off, he lifted his glove to the sky, his signature Statue of Liberty, except the puck wasn't in his glove.
He just gets behind the fence. He's got it. And then he drops it.
Brendan Shanahan poked it into the wide-open net. Colorado lost Game 6 2-0, and in Game 7, the greatest playoff goalie of all time allowed 6 goals before he got pulled. Final score, 7-0 Detroit. That was the last playoff game Patrick Roy ever played. But Rick DiPietro had the longest cascade of embarrassment ever. See, in 2006, the Islanders signed him to a 15-year, $67.5 million contract, the longest goalie contract in NHL history. Get him? They had traded away Roberto Luongo a few years earlier. Well, Luongo became one of the best goalies in the world, and DiPietro played more than 50 games in a season just 4 times, then got bought out in 2013. But here's the part nobody believes. The Islanders are still paying him $1.5 million every single year through 2029, long after his career ended. But Patrick Steffen's miss is the most famous in NHL history. See, in 1999, the Atlanta Thrashers took Steffen first overall. They passed on Daniel and Henrik Sedin, who went 2-3 and both became Hall of Famers. But Steffen peaked at 14 goals in a season. Now fast forward to January 4th, 2007, with Dallas leading Edmonton by 1 with 10 seconds left. Edmonton pulls the goalie. Bergeron loses the puck, and Steffen picks it up on a breakaway with nothing but an empty net in front of him.
Steffen steals and he'll ice it. Or at least I thought he was gonna until he blew it. And Hemsky's loose. Hemsky, he scored! Can you believe it?
He missed, he fell, Oilers raced the other way, and Ales Hemsky tied it with 2 seconds left. The extra point Edmonton earned shifted the draft lottery. Chicago won it and picked Patrick Kane first overall that summer. Steffen never played another NHL game. There's one mistake at the top, and nothing else is even close. See, in April of 1986, the Edmonton Oilers were the best team in hockey. 2 straight Stanley Cups, chasing a third. Steve Smith was a 23-year-old rookie defenseman, only playing Game 7 of the Smythe Division Finals because Lee Fogelin got hurt. Game tied 2-2 in the third period. Smith picked up the puck behind his own net and tried to bank a cross-ice outlet pass through the crease. The pass hit his own goalie's skate and went straight in. Calgary won 3-2. The goal got credited to Perry Berezan, who was already sitting on the bench during a line change. The Oilers dynasty lost in round 2, and oh yeah, it was Steve Smith's 23rd birthday.